pursuit of excellence is a journey that beckons us all. It calls to us in the quiet moments of our lives, urging us to become more, to achieve more, to leave a lasting impact on this world. But in our quest for greatness, we often find ourselves trapped by an insidious mindset, the pursuit of perfection. Your work and your very essence chase progress, not perfection. This simple shift in perspective has the power to unlock your potential, ignite your passion, and propel you towards a life of continuous growth and fulfillment. Let's begin by understanding what it truly means to chase progress rather than perfection. Perfection is a mirage, an illusion that constantly recedes as we approach it. It's a static, idealized state that exists only in our imagination. Progress, on the other hand, is real, tangible, and achievable. It's dynamic, ever-evolving, and most importantly, it's within your grasp right now. When we chase perfection, we set ourselves up for disappointment and failure. We become paralyzed by the fear of making mistakes, of not measuring up to an impossible standard. This paralysis prevents us from taking action, from learning, from growing. It keeps us stuck in a cycle and self-doubt. But when we chase progress, we liberate ourselves from these self-imposed limitations. We give ourselves permission to try, to fail, to learn, and to grow. We understand that mistakes are not setbacks, but stepping stones. They are not signs of weakness, but opportunities for strength. Does a mighty oak tree spring forth from the ground fully formed? Of course not. It begins as a tiny acorn, then a fragile sapling. It faces winds, drought, and countless challenges. But with each passing season, it grows stronger, taller, more majestic. The oak does not wait for perfect conditions. It grows where it's planted, making progress every single day. You, my friends, are like that oak tree. Your potential for growth is limitless, but it won't be realized through a single perfect action. It will be realized through consistent, imperfect progress. What does it mean to chase progress? It means embracing the journey, not just fixating on the destination. It means understanding that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. It means learning to love the process of growth itself. When you chase progress, you free yourself from the paralysis of perfectionism. You give yourself permission to try, to fail, to learn, and to grow. You understand that mistakes are not setbacks, but stepping stones. They are not signs of weakness, but opportunities for strength. Consider the Wright brothers. When they set out to conquer the skies, they didn't wait until they had designed the perfect flying machine. They built, they tested, they crashed, they analyzed, and they built again. Each failure brought them closer to success. They chased progress, not perfection. And in doing so, they changed the world. I want you to think about your own life. Where have you been holding back, waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect plan? Where have you been so afraid of making mistakes that you have made no moves at all? It's time to shift your mindset. You are learning a new language. If you wait until you can speak it perfectly before opening your mouth, you will never utter a word. But if you embrace progress, you will start with simple phrases, make countless mistakes, and gradually improve. Before you know it, you will be conversing fluently, all because you were willing to be imperfect along the way. This principle applies to every area of life. In your career, don't wait for the perfect job. Start where you are and grow. In your relationships, don't expect perfection from yourself or others. Foster connection through consistent effort and understanding. In your personal development, don't berate yourself for not being the ideal version of yourself. Celebrate every small step towards becoming better. There once was a young artist named Maya. From childhood, she dreamed of creating masterpieces that would hang in the world's most prestigious galleries. Every day, she would sit at her easel, brush in hand, determined to paint the perfect picture. But time and again, she would step back, look at her work, and in frustration, tear the canvas to shreds. Nothing was ever good enough. Weeks turned into months, and months into years. Maya's studio was hung with half-finished paintings and discarded ideas, but not a single completed work. One day, an old master painter visited Maya's studio. He looked around at the graveyard of unfinished potential and asked, "Where is your art, Maya?" Embarrassed, explained that she was waiting to create something perfect. The old painter laughed gently and said, "My dear, perfection is a mirage. It does not exist, but progress. Progress is the lifeblood of all great art." He picked up one of Maya's discarded brushes and began to paint on a fresh canvas. With quick, confident strokes, he created a simple but beautiful landscape. It wasn't perfect. There were visible brushstrokes, and the proportions were slightly off, but it was alive with energy and emotion. This, he said, handing the brush back to Maya. It's progress. It's real. It's tangible. And most importantly, it exists. Now it's your turn. Paint. And don't stop until you have finished. Then do it again and again. Your 100th painting will be better than your first, but only if you allow yourself to make that first stroke. This story illustrates a fundamental truth about life and achievement. Too often, we paralyze ourselves with the pursuit of perfection. We envision a flawless outcome and become discouraged when our reality does not immediately match that vision. But here's the secret: greatness is not born from perfection, it's forged in the fires of progress. The lesson from Maya's story applies to every aspect of our lives. Whether you are building a business, nurturing a relationship, pursuing education, or working on personal growth, the principle remains the same. Progress, not perfection, is the key to success. The technology you use every day, your smartphone, your favorite apps, the websites you visit, none of these started out perfect. They began as rough ideas, minimum viable products, but through constant iteration, through a commitment to progress rather than perfection, they evolved into the powerful tools we rely on today. The same principle applies to your personal growth. You are not a finished product. You are a work in progress. And that's something to celebrate, not lament. Every day presents an opportunity for growth, for learning, for taking one more step on your journey. Chasing progress does not mean settling for mediocrity. It does not mean making excuses for poor performance or lack of effort. On the contrary, it means holding yourself to a high standard, not of immediate perfection, but of consistent improvement. If you are climbing a mountain, you don't focus solely on the peak. You focus on the next step, the next handhold. You celebrate each bit of elevation gained. You learn from the terrain as you go. And with each step, you are not just getting higher, you are getting stronger, more skilled, more attuned to the mountain. That's what chasing progress looks like in your life. It's about consistent incremental improvement. It's about learning from every experience, every setback, every victory. It's about understanding that the journey itself is where the real growth happens. You might be thinking, but what about excellence? Shouldn't we strive for the best? Absolutely. But here's the key. Excellence is not perfection. Excellence is the result of consistent progress, of pushing your boundaries little by little, day by day. Consider the greatest athletes in the world. They didn't become champions overnight. They didn't step onto the field or the court for the first time and perform flawlessly. They started with the basics, made countless mistakes, experienced failures and setbacks, but they kept going. They focused on getting a little bit better each day. They chased progress. And in doing so, they achieved excellence. The same is true for great leaders, innovative thinkers, and successful individuals in every field. They understand that greatness is not a destination you reach once and then stop. It's a continuous journey of growth and improvement. So how do we put this principle into practice in our daily lives? How do we shift our mindset from chasing perfection to embracing progress? First, we need to redefine success. Success is not achieving perfection. It's making consistent progress towards your goals. Celebrate the small wins, acknowledge the steps you have taken, no matter how tiny they might seem. Remember, Every great journey begins with a single step. Second, embrace failure as a teacher, not an enemy. When you chase perfection, failure feels like the end. But when you chase progress, failure becomes a valuable lesson. It shows you where you need to improve, what you need to learn. It's not a stop sign. It's a detour leading you to greater understanding and growth. Third, focus on the process, not just the outcome. When you are chasing perfection, you are fixated on a specific end result. But when you chase progress, you learn to love the journey itself. You find joy in the daily acts of improvement, in the challenges that make you stronger, in the lessons that make you wiser. Fourth, be patient with yourself. Progress takes time. It's not always linear or visible day to day. But if you stay committed to growth, if you keep taking those steps forward, you will look back and be amazed at how far you have come. Fifth, surround yourself with people who understand and support your journey. Find mentors who can guide you, peers who can challenge you, and friends who can encourage you. Remember, no one achieves greatness alone. We all need a support system that believes in progress over perfection. Redefining success is crucial in the journey of chasing progress. In a world that often glorifies overnight success and instant results, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that anything less than perfection is failure. But true success is not about reaching a final, flawless state. It's about consistent growth and improvement. Learning to play a musical instrument. When you first start, you can't expect to play complex symphonies. You begin with simple scales, basic melodies. Each practice session, you improve a little. You may hit wrong notes, struggle with timing, but gradually, you get better. That's success. It's not about playing perfectly from day one. It's about being better today than you were yesterday. This redefinition of success applies to every area of life. In your career, success is not about landing the perfect job immediately. It's about continuously developing your skills, taking on new challenges, and growing in your role. In relationships, success is not about never having conflicts or disagreements. It's about learning to communicate better, to understand each other more deeply, to grow together through challenges. When you redefine success in terms of progress rather than perfection, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. You give yourself permission to try new things, to take risks, to step out of your comfort zone. Because now, success is not about doing everything perfectly. It's about learning, growing, and improving along the way. This brings us to our second principle, embracing failure as a teacher in the pursuit of perfection. Failure is seen as the enemy, something to be avoided at all costs. But when you are chasing progress, failure becomes one of your greatest allies. Every failure, every setback, every mistake is an opportunity to learn and grow. It's feedback that shows you where you need to improve, what you need to change. It's a chance to reassess your approach, to gain new insights, to become stronger and more resilient. Some of the greatest inventions and discoveries in history, many of them came about through what initially seemed like failures. Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin. When he noticed that mold had contaminated his petri dishes, what could have been seen as a failed experiment became one of the most important medical discoveries of the 20th century. Thomas Edison, when asked about his many failed attempts to create the light bulb, famously said, "I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This mindset, seeing each failure as a step towards success rather than a final outcome, is what allows great innovators and achievers to persist in the face of challenges. When you embrace failure as a teacher, you free yourself from the fear that often holds people back. You are no longer paralyzed by the possibility of making mistakes because you know that even if you do, you will learn from them and grow stronger. This leads us to our third principle, focusing on the process, not just the outcome. When you are chasing perfection, all your attention is on the end result. But when you chase progress, you learn to love the journey itself. Life is not a series of endpoints. It's a continuous process of growth and development. When you focus solely on outcomes, You miss out on the richness of the journey. You miss the small victories, the daily improvements, the lessons learned along the way. Moreover, when you are too focused on the outcome, you are more likely to give up when things get tough. But when you love the process, you are able to persist through challenges because you find joy in the act of growth itself. This does not mean you shouldn't have goals or aspirations. Of course you should. But it means that your satisfaction and sense of accomplishment shouldn't be tied solely to reaching those goals. You should find fulfillment in the daily acts of working towards them. If you are an entrepreneur, don't just focus on the end goal of building a successful company. Find joy in the process of solving problems, of learning new skills, of connecting with customers and team members. If you are an athlete, don't just fixate on winning championships. Love the process of training, of pushing your limits, of gradually improving your performance. When you focus on the process, you are more likely to stay motivated and committed in the long run. You are more resilient in the face of setbacks because you understand that they are part of the journey, not the end of it. This brings us to our fourth principle, being patient with yourself in a world of instant gratification. Patience can feel like a lost art. But when you're chasing progress, patience is absolutely essential. Real, meaningful growth takes time. It's not always linear or visible on a day-to-day basis. There will be times when you feel like you are not making any progress at all. But if you stay committed to the process, if you keep taking those small steps forward, you will look back and be amazed at how far you have come. If you start a new exercise routine, you won't see dramatic changes overnight. There might be days or even weeks where you feel like you are not making any progress at all. But if you stay consistent, if you keep showing up and putting in the work, you will eventually start to see and feel the results. The same is true for any area of personal growth or skill development, learning a new language, developing leadership skills, improving your relationships. All of these take time and patience. There will be plateaus. There will be setbacks. But with patience and persistence, you will make progress. Being patient with yourself also means being kind to yourself. It means understanding that growth is not always smooth or easy. It means forgiving yourself for mistakes and setbacks and using them as opportunities to learn rather than reasons to give up. This patience extends to how you view others as well. When you understand that everyone is on their own journey of progress, you become more empathetic, more understanding. You are less likely to judge others harshly for their imperfections because you recognize that. Like you, they are works in progress. Our fifth principle is about surrounding yourself with the right people. The journey of progress is not one you have to or should undertake alone. The people around you can have a profound impact on your growth and development. Seek out mentors who can guide you, who have walked the path you are on and can share their wisdom and experience. Look for peers who are also committed to growth, who can challenge you and inspire you to keep pushing forward. Surround yourself with friends who understand and support your journey, who encourage you when things get tough and celebrate your victories with you. At the same time, be mindful of those who might hold you back. People who are stuck in a perfectionist mindset, who are overly critical or negative, can drain your energy and dampen your enthusiasm for growth. While you don't necessarily need to cut these people out of your life entirely, be aware of their influence and limit your exposure if necessary. Remember, the people around you shape your perspective, your beliefs about what's possible, and your motivation to keep going. Choose your circle wisely. One of the biggest challenges in shifting from a perfection-focused mindset to a progress-focused one is overcoming the fear of judgment. We often hold ourselves back because we're afraid of what others might think if we make mistakes or show our imperfections. Most people are too focused on their own journey to spend time judging yours and those who do judge. Their opinions say more about them than about you. Your journey of progress is yours alone. It's not about meeting someone else's standards or expectations. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, step by step, day by day. Another challenge you might face is the temptation to compare your progress to others. In the age of social media, where everyone's highlight reel is on display, It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing your journey to someone else's curated moments. But remember, you are seeing the highlights, not their behind-the-scenes struggles and setbacks. Everyone's path is unique, and progress looks different for each person. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on comparing yourself to who you were yesterday, last month, last year. Are you growing? Are you learning? Are you pushing yourself out of your comfort zone? That's what matters. You might also encounter moments of doubt and discouragement. There will be times when progress feels slow, when obstacles seem insurmountable. In these moments, it's crucial to remind yourself of how far you have already come. Keep a progress journal where you can track your growth and reflect on your journey. Celebrate your small wins. Acknowledge the challenges you have overcome. These reminders can be powerful motivators when the going gets tough. Another potential roadblock is the allure of quick fixes and shortcuts. In a world that often promises instant results, it can be tempting to look for magic bullets that will accelerate your progress. But real, lasting growth does not come from shortcuts. It comes from consistent effort, from showing up day after day, from embracing the process of learning and improving. This does not mean you shouldn't seek out tools and strategies to help you on your journey. By all means, read books, attend workshops, seek out mentors, but approach these resources with a progress mindset, not a perfection mindset. Use them as tools to support your ongoing growth, not as quick fixes to achieve instant perfection. It's important to regularly assess and adjust your goals. Remember, progress is not about rigidly sticking to a predetermined path. It's about being flexible, adapting to new information and changing circumstances. Perhaps you set out to become a doctor, but along the way you discover a passion for medical research. Shifting your focus does not mean you have failed in your original goal. It means you have progressed in your understanding of yourself and your true calling, the ability to pivot, to adjust your course based on what you learn about yourself and the world around you, is a crucial aspect of chasing progress. This flexibility extends to your methods as well. As you progress, you will likely discover new techniques, new approaches that work better for you. Don't be afraid to experiment, to try new things. What worked for you at the beginning of your journey might not be the most effective approach as you advance. Be open to change, to new ideas and perspectives. Another important aspect of chasing progress is learning to balance consistency with rest. Progress requires persistent effort, yes, but it also requires of rest and reflection. Just as your muscles need time to recover and grow stronger after a workout, your mind and spirit need time to integrate new knowledge and experiences. I don't fall into the trap of thinking that progress means constant, unrelenting action. Sometimes progress happens in the quiet moments, in the times of reflection and integration. Learn to listen to yourself, to recognize when you need to push forward and when you need to step back and recharge. You will likely find that it affects not just the specific area you are focusing on, but your entire life. The mindset of chasing progress rather than perfection can transform how you approach relationships, how you handle challenges, how you view the world around you. You will likely become more resilient, better able to handle setbacks and disappointments. You will become more curious, always looking for opportunities to learn and grow. You will become more compassionate, both towards yourself and others, understanding that everyone is on their own journey of progress. This mindset can also lead to greater innovation and creativity. When you are not paralyzed by the fear of imperfection, you are more willing to take risks, to try new things, to think outside the box. Some of the greatest innovations in history came from people who were willing to put forth imperfect ideas and then refine them through a process of continuous improvement. Chasing progress is not just an abstract idea, it's a way of life, a commitment to continuous growth and improvement. So starting today, I challenge you to embrace this mindset in your own life. Choose one area where you have been held back by the pursuit of perfection. It could be a personal goal, a professional ambition, a relationship you want to improve, or a skill you want to develop. Instead of focusing on achieving perfection in this area, commit to making progress. Set small, achievable goals. Celebrate each step forward, no matter how tiny it might seem. Learn from your setbacks and keep moving forward. Document your journey. Keep a progress journal where you can reflect on your growth, your challenges, your victories. This record will not only help you stay motivated, but it will also serve as a powerful reminder of how far you have come when you face moments of doubt. Share your journey with others. Find an accountability partner, someone who understands and supports your cultural progress. Share your goals, your struggles, your victories. Not only will this help keep you on track, but it might also inspire others to embrace their own journey of progress. Remember, the path of progress is not always easy. There will be challenges, setbacks, moments of doubt. But in those moments, remember why you started this journey. Remember that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Remember that you are capable of amazing things, not because you are perfect, but because you have the courage to keep growing, learning, and progressing. Life is not about reaching a state of perfection. It's about becoming a little bit better each day. It's about growing, learning, and evolving. It's about making progress in the face of challenges, about rising after each fall, about continuing to move forward even when the path is unclear. You are capable of extraordinary things, but those extraordinary things won't happen in a single moment of perfection. They will happen through countless moments of progress. They will happen through your commitment to growth, your resilience in the face of setbacks, your willingness to take imperfect action. So go forth in progress. Take those steps, make those attempts, learn those lessons. Embrace the beautiful, imperfect journey of growth. And remember, every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Every bit of progress is a triumph. You have everything you need within you to start making progress right now. You have the power to shape your life, to impact your world, to become the person you are meant to be. Not through perfection, but through progress. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Your journey of progress, of growth, of becoming, it begins now. Embrace it, celebrate it. Chase progress, not perfection. And watch as you transform your life, one step at a time. Thank you